Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen, it's your host Shane Gilfeather, and you have joined us for round 10 of the V8 League 2024 for SimHaus Racing, and this is our biggest race of the year, Bathurst. Who could ever deny the spectacular events that unfold during a Bathurst race? And we've got a full field here today, ready to get going. We are currently in quali, and we've got 19 drivers on the grid in the private quali session at the moment. It is round 10 of 12, not 80 laps. It's going to be 45 laps today. Each lap is 6.213 kilometers in Mount Panorama. Temperatures today, 25 air temp, 46 track temp, very hot on circuit, and the action will be just as hot as we're watching Daniel Opedisano in quali. Before we get into the serious business, let's bring up the championship table as it stands, and it's going to be Wayne Walker in the lead with Alex Kiddis, Paul Robinson. That hasn't been updated, so I do apologise. We'll leave that for now. Check back in after this race before Gold Coast in a couple of weeks' time. So, as mentioned before, we've got Daniel Opedisano on track with a Kevin Bartlett livery. If you ever remember this one, who could forget this livery for Channel 9? The old Camaro on its roof at Reed Park. Sulman Park, I should say. Coming into the chase. Not doing too bad during the practice session. In the top 10, top 5, around the top 5. Currently P3, but he's going to be one of the first ones to post a full lap. So once he crosses the line, we'll see how he goes. And yes, he goes to P1 with a 2:01.972. Very impressive. Also impressive is Rob Logan. Missing his teammate tonight, who's actually on his way to the actual track for the camping grounds to stake his spot. And he's been quite hot during practice session as well. Rob Logan just joining us in the latter part of the season. We hope he does well today. Wayne Walker's assumed his... it's actually Matt Collins just posting, pipping Wayne Walker for pole at the moment with a 2:01.783. Very hot opening lap there. Wayne Walker both going out. This is a private qualifier session, by the way, if you're watching at home, and they won't be able to see each other. It'll be just a private session. They're all out on track together, but they won't be able to clash with each other or balk each other during a qualifier session. Pretty much like a top 10 shootout, but they're all doing it at the same time. And we want to welcome back Thomas Foster. If you've been watching us for a couple of years, a few years now, Thomas Foster, very famous, took out one of the full-length 161 lap races with Daniel Opedisano as co-driver, or both co-drive each other, and they got it by less than half a second. So we'll see where Thomas Foster's out on track. Look out for the Mustang, mobile Mustang out on track. All right, going through now. Opedisano putting the Channel 9 in P3 at the moment. Then it's Paul Robinson from Paul Robinson Racing. Very famous in his own right. Got his own YouTube channel as well. If you have a chance, check it out. Currently in P4. Very strong in the championship as well. Then it's Craig Stoddard, last year's champion, this year's defending champion. He's currently in P5 in the car number 5. Okay, Scott Flack, quite tired after his F1 efforts during the week, racing in the European F1 season. And we've got Alex Kiddis, not where he wants to be in P7 right now. I'm sure this is our lap, and we'll actually stay with him for the full lap, see how he does it, because he's currently in 7. Not too sure if he's going to stay there. Just under a second off the pace, but he's definitely bettered that during the practice session. We've got just over 2.5 minutes to go. That's about 2 more laps of the circuit. We've still got 18 guys on track trying to post their fastest lap to advance them into further up the field for this year's Bathurst League race for 2024. Kidas really throwing it around the cutting. Griffin's Bend, this is the cutting up the left-hand corner. Beautiful shot there, coming out of the cutting towards Sulman Park. Under the famous bridge. Takes that flat out. Car's actually hooked up at the moment. Out to the grate. Across the inside curve, back out to the wall. Doesn't want to get any close, pushing the envelope. Across Skyline now, full speed. Dropping the gears down to third. Through down the dipper, down to second gear. Just taps it on, gets a weight transfer. Make sure you got to settle it as he is down into Forest Elbow. Sun shining here today at Mount Panorama. Bathurst, New South Wales. Meant to be a great weekend for weather this weekend. And if you are going to the real event, love to see you there. I'll be operating some simulators at the top of the mountain for the 4 days from Thursday right through to Sunday afternoon. As we're watching Alex Kiddis come down Conrad Straight into the chase now, full speed. Down the gears, watching the front just dip, but the car settles in nicely. Taking that inside curve, really nice. Getting on the gas, letting it just drift out under Dunlop Bridge. Down towards Murray's Corner. Watch a few guys lock up there as he comes around, brings it in. Watch the timing. Car up into P4 with that effort. Not too bad, half a second off. And we've seen just ahead of Craig Broadbent actually. So fastest last sector of the race, that helped him get up there. Andrew Chalui smashing into the Castrol, really ragging that car. Look at him sideways, just wants to get across the line. Still in P11 as he crosses the start-finish line. We won't be happy with that one as Justin Bryce just got him in P10. Thomas Foster getting some laps in. Just literally jumped in the car just before tonight, so he'll be literally doing practice laps during the qualify session with 10 seconds to go. This will be his last lap. We've got Eric Chandra pretty much at the same spot in the circuit, so he's currently P13. A lot stronger effort from him in previous years, so watch him come up through the field during the actual race. 45 laps. Got Craig Stoddard back with us for BS Motorsport. Ross Licciardi, cousin of Daniel Padasano, he's joining us again from Melbourne. Then we've got David Baker in the Kmart special, sitting in pit lane, saving his energy for the main race. Troy Cieslawski driving from Queensland. Oh, get a sideways and on the roof, almost rolling that car, but managed to drop it back down as it crosses the line. He's not going to get a faster lap on that one. James Spotto out on his final flying lap. He's up on his PB. Let's see how he goes with the end of this race. Kyle Rankmore in pit lane as well, just waiting for the race to start. So only a couple of guys out there now. Scott Flack. So we watch James Spotto come down in the chase. Heavy on the brakes, through the gears. Gets the car settled nicely. Back rotating very quickly. Nice and smooth out under Dunlop Bridge. Down towards Murray's Corner. There'll be a couple of pit stops required today for sure. We are using fuel and tyres. James Spotto crossing the line. Currently in 18. Moves up into P13, well done. 5 spots just before the finish. And that'll be him before the end. So Ross Licciardi still out rolling around, just parking it up now. And we'll see Scott Flack out on his final lap. This won't be his best. We can see he's down on his PB. Currently in P7. He's probably going to stay there. He's the last one out there. If he manages to hold it on, P7 and stays P7. Alright guys, that was quali. Let's go and have a look at the results there for the qualifier session. And it's Wayne Walker with a 201.198 taking pole just ahead of Matt Collins. This will be a great fight up the front with Daniel Opodesano with the Channel 9, Kevin Bartlett livery. Just ahead of Alex Kittis, teammate of Wayne Walker for Wayne's World Mustang. Craig Broadbent in P5 in the number 5. Paul Robinson just behind him. They'll be racing all race long, so keep an eye out for that one. Scott Flack will be in tow as well, similar to the Sandown event a few weeks ago. And Braden Pritchard up in the P8. Rob Logan, then Justin Bryce rounds out your top 10. P11 will be Andrew Chilui, then Thomas Foster, James Spotto, Chandra in 14. Licciardi in his first race of the season in P15, great job. Craig Stoddard in 16. Baker, Chislowski and Rankmore will be your top 19. All right, so we'll go to a commercial break, get the boys ready, and we'll be back after these messages. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is our biggest race of the year. There is a grid, beautiful grid. Here we go. You can hear the sirens. Engines revving, off we go. Wayne Walker getting a cracking start off the line. Collins trying to cover in front of Opodesano, and that's left Walker off with a marginal lead there. So it's Collins settling into P2, then Oppo, Broadbent, and Kittis just back down there. Scott Flack right behind. Paul Robinson dropping back a couple of spots. And we've got Chilui coming up there as well. I can see in the background Braden Pritchard holding firm. Chilui a couple of spots. Spotto nice and gaining a few spots as well. Wayne Walker coming out of the cutting now. Collins chasing hard. So too Opodesano in P3. That's Craig Broadbent, his favourite track of the year. We are off. This is 45 laps, lap 1. Thank you for joining us for Bathurst, our biggest race of the year. And we're super excited to bring it to you here at SimHaus Racing. So further back, Scott Flack and Kidas got a massive train at the top of the hill here. You can see the whole train coming down the hill. Justin Bryce in there in P11, chasing down Rob Logan. This is the rest of the field. Thomas Foster there, James Spotto coming through. So too Craig Stoddard, Eric Chandler, Licciardi. And that is Rankmore and Czeslowski. Down the front now, it's Wayne Walker still. Matt Collins closing in closer. Got to look after those tyres. They've got to last at least 15, 17 laps. So too the fuel, so it's very easy to burn up everything just trying to chase Wayne Walker. He's been very strong all year long, but the top three are there. That is the end of lap one. It's Wayne Walker, Matt Collins, Daniel Opedisano, Craig Broadbent, then a gap to Kidas, Scott Flack, Robinson, Chalui, Braden Pritchard, Rob Logan, Thomas Foster back there as well. Justin Bryce coming through Hill Corner, and up the hill they come. James Spotto there in 13, and that's Stoddard, Baker, and Licciardi further down. Eric Chandler there from HM Engineering is there as well. So up the front, it's getting juicy, and Wayne Walker's failing to shrug off Matt Collins at the moment. He's determined. These guys came together at Simmons Plains, if you've been watching it early on. And the tension's still building here at Bathurst. Oh, Collins just scraping the wall, following Walker, who almost went in. Broadbent further back. He's by himself, Broadbent. And then we've got Kidas. Oh, charging ahead. Chilui doing a great job to stay with these boys. Then there's another train further back. It's Rob Logan heading that up across the top of the hill. Pritchard just in front. And that's Thomas Foster, Spotto, and Stoddard coming down the mountain as well. Kyle Rankmore. Love this shot. Coming down Conrad Straight, it's Walker, Collins, and Opedisano. There it is. You can see Collins just sliding it in through the chase there. Trying to close up on the back of Walker. Watch him under brakes. Very strong under brakes, Collins. Nice lines through here. Just getting up over the ripple. Big crowd here today at Bathurst. Beautiful sunshine out and about as well. Kidas still defending off. Scott Flack, Robinson dropping off a little bit. So too Chalui. But Braden Pritchard's coming in to take Chalui. And it's the second of the Newlon Energy cars. We've been incident-free, touch wood. These guys are very good. They've been racing with each other all year long. Pritchard just tapping on the brakes, getting out of control. He's got Rob Logan for company as well. And Logan's got Justin Bryce in the background coming through the cutting now. Oh, just getting wide. Smacks the wall. Got to defend that position, but he can't. Those tyres are almost cooked. He's got to keep control here. He's got Justin Bryce on his tail. We're on board with Pritchard. Bryce going up the inside now. Pritchard just... Oh, he's... Don't know if he's got car trouble or tyre trouble. Those tyres are overheating. He's struggling coming down the mountain. He's got Thomas Foster right behind him now in the Chaz Mostert Optus Mustang. Oh, smacks each wall. That's a Chaz Mostert move. Manages to hold position. Oh, they do come together as Pritchard tried to get on the gas and just came around the front. Spotto now charging down. He's got Foster to his right, and that's Pritchard in front. under brakes. Spotto trying to get that position. Oh, Thomas just getting out of control there, trying to avoid what's in front. And Walker's starting to stretch that lead now, just over a second and a half. Oppo closing a little bit, but it's stretched out. Kiddas is still holding that train back behind him, which is Scott Flack, Paul Robinson and Chilui, Rob Logan and Justin Bryce there down the main straight, or mountain straight I should say. Up the hill now, on board with Scott Flack, chasing Alex Kiddas. Will he go up the inside? Kiddas just taking half the circuit. Just controlling those tyres. Broadbent's coming back into the fold now. Maybe he's used up his tyres getting through. Or Flack just dropping a gear to get through Silman Park. Over the grate now, just cutting the left hand near Reed Park. Now McPhillamy. Going down across Skyline as we head over. Look at that view down the bottom of the hill. These drivers won't have a chance to enjoy the landscape here. They'll be focused on the dipper in this left-hand corner. Got to get on the gas early. Don't hit that inside wall. Get a good run, nice and smooth. Brake early, control the car down to second gear. First for Flacky. Off he goes, gets a launch out. Short out of first. Then it's a sprint down the main straight, chasing Kiddas, getting in that draft. Look at him close up under Kiddas now. That's Kiddas. Blackie, will he go up the inside? No, he won't. He's going to hang there for a little bit, currently in P5 and 6. Kiddas too strong under brakes, but Flacky got the mid-corner. Just heard a bit of tyre wear coming from Kiddas. Chilui just out on by himself now. He's got Bryce, who's just taken Rob Logan for P9. Back in the top 10. Oh, just getting it slide and locked up in the hell corner. Rob Logan chasing him hard up the mountain straight. And that's Pritchard defending against James Spotto. And that's Thomas Foster in there as well. So those three still together. Looking at the timing screen, it looks like Collins under pressure from Oppo. Oppo nice and clean through the cutting there, coming up over the hill. Through Silman Park, across the top. This is where the Camaro flipped it for Kevin Bartlett. In the Channel 9 Sports, Wide Water Sports livery. Collins in the mirror, up the inside. Snow spots there. Down the mountain, here we go. Pressure's on through the cutting. Oh, Oppo just clipping the wall, and that's cost him. That'll cost him for the whole race, actually. There'll be some damage on that front suspension, as there is some damage for the race this evening. So that was Oppo. This is Broadbent, then Kiddas. Black going through, Paul Robinson, Andrew Chilui coming through, Justin Bryce, Rob Logan. That's Pritchard coming through, Spotto, Thomas Foster, down out of Forest Elbow. And we're on board with Matt Collins in P2, trying to get away from Oppo, who just clipped the wall there and gave Collins some free time up the front. Only 5 laps down. It's been a long race. We've got 40 to go. Broadbent out by himself in P4. Up one spot from the start. He'll be happy with that one at the cost of Alex Kiddas, who's settling in a P6, defending against Scott Flack at the moment. Up over the hill. And they are catching Broadbent as well. Watch that time gap. Currently 1.2. Up the cutting there, beautiful Just cutting in, let it drift out and come back in, but Scott Flack is missing the mark just there, giving a bit too much time away. Got to settle the car down here across the top. Oh, Kiddas just kissing that outside wall there. The crowd are there enjoying it. Full crowd here today. Across the top, nice and easy, just looking after those tyres. They are gaining on Broadbent. Black just kissing the grass on the outside there. Paul Robinson coming back into the fold as well. And that means Archie Louis further 3.5 seconds back from this group. So I've got Rankmore down the back in P18. Oh, just smacks the wall. Troy Cieslawski's trying to move up on that position. Kyle's just come back to RF2 after a long stint, and the car and the game has changed since he's last been on here. Cieslawski all over the back of Rankmore here. As they come across the top, Rankmore just going wide. And that's Cieslawski getting that position. This will be a great battle all race long. Keep tuned for that one. But look at this, it's Opatisano's Tate Collins. On board now with Matt Collins chasing Opatisano. He just wants to hold position here. Just look after his tyres, make him last. My guess and my prediction for the pit window would be between laps 15 and 18, 19 if you're daring. Depending on the fuel, I don't think you're going to get much more than 15, 16 laps. But who knows? In 8 laps time, we'll find out. So if you're watching from home, let us know where you're watching from. We can see Shepherd cheering on Ross Licciardi and Cameron Dorr linking us to Jimmy Broadbent, which is a compliment. Thank you very much. But no, this is based in Australia, Sydney. And we are in our favourite race of the year, our most important race of the year, our Enduro Bathurst. It's Bathurst week in real life, and we are part of it here as we are in lap 7 of 45, a race we hold each year, an extended race. We're not actually doing the full length race this year. We'll come back bigger and better next year and bring you all the entertainment as it comes. Speaking of entertainment, look at this. This is a Matt Collins up the back bumper of Opatisano in P2 at the moment. 5 seconds off the lead. And we've got Kiddas coming on the back of Broadbent. Oh, Oppo just protecting that inside line, making sure Collins doesn't come up the inside. Broadbent got a bit of a margin still, 1.3 second, but Kiddas and Flack still together with Robinson up in that three-way battle. That's Kiddas, Scott Flack in the red, and Paul Robinson in the grey right behind. And those three are chasing down and closing in on Broadbent. You can see the gap there now. On board with Scott Flack now up the cutting, getting a great launch over Kiddas. Flacky trying to get around. Can he go around the outside but come back on the inside? No, Kiddas protecting that spot. Very ginger through this section here. You don't want to overdo it. These guys are holding that inside line. They don't want to drift over that grate and smack that wall right on the outside there. You lose your mirrors. Across the top. Keep it off the dirt. Broadbent just scraping that dirt on the exit there. Controlling it. They should really take... Oh, just control it. Second gear. Get a nice little launch. Scott Flack just hesitated on the accelerator then. Turning in now. Broadbent goes through Kiddas, Black and Robinson. It's still Wayne Walker out in front. Opposano still defending Matt Collins, who's hanging on to the back of the Channel 9 car. Flacky in the sandwich here, trying to get a position on Kiddas. Can he get up underneath? Forcing Kiddas to make a mistake. Do the crossover, short shifting Flacky in P6. And Paul Robinson's just happy watching this unfold in front. Oh, you know, Flacky wants to come up the inside on here, Murray's corner. But he's going to have to sit there because now he's got to worry about Paul Robinson right behind him. Up Mountain Straight they go now, Kiddas, Flack and Robinson. And there's Craig Stoddard. Oh no, that's Chilui in the background. It won't be too long before he climbs onto the back of this group as well, as his lap times are coming down. Thomas Foster just pulling out DNFing for that one. I'd like to thank our sponsors popping up on the bottom left hand corner. So Wayne Walker out on front, up top of the hill at Skyline, coming down Brocky Skyline down towards the dipper now. Beautiful section of the road here. First gear for Wayne Walker. Here he comes down out of Forest Elbow. And Collins just dropping off Opposano in P2. There's a gap there now. We'll go through the field as it stands. So that's the top three. Matt Collins. There's Craig Broadbent. Kiddas, you can see there. Flack just dropping off a little bit now with Robinson. Actually, what we'll do, we'll go to the front. We'll watch them come round. So it's going to be Wayne Walker. This will show you the gaps on track. Here comes Opposano and Matt Collins crossing the line under the Repco awning. Down the hill comes Broadbent, Kiddas, Flack, Robinson. Chilui crossing the start-finish line now. He's in P8, Justin Bryce in P9. Here comes Rob Logan. He'll be happy with top 10 at the moment. James Spotto. Absolutely smashing it. And that's Braden Pritchard behind him in the number 23 car. Then it'll be Eric Chandra in the Super Cheap Auto car. Coming around Murray's corner. Crossing the start-finish line. Craig Stoddard should be coming around the corner any second now with a couple of guys in tow. And that's Ross Licciardi as well. Ross Licciardi in P15. David Baker in P16 in the Kmart. Greg Murphy livery. Then we've got Troy Cieslawski, Kyle Rankmore. Your final two on track. Cieslawski pulling away from Kyle. As Kyle coming into Murray's corner right about now. There he is. And that's your field crossing the start-finish line and your gap. So Wayne Walker, Forest Elbow now. Opposano, where is the racing? The closest one we can see is Flack and Robinson at the moment. And Kiddas still there, so is Broadbent. So these four still there, still together. They can see each other. And this is where they've been all year long, really. Paul Robinson coming into the chase now, currently in P7. Usually up in the top 4 or 5. There's been a few strong drivers join in. But Paul Robinson's playing the long game. My prediction, he'll be in the top 5 before the end of the race is over. Chalui in the background's been working hard on his simulator at home. Just a brand new one. He's starting to settle into it, as we all do when we buy new equipment. We've got to get used to it if we're going to be at a competitive rate. And then Justin Bryce in the top 10. Rob Logan rounding out the top 10. In 5th gear, top speed, 230, 240 as they come over the crest. Will he get up into 6th gear? No, he's going to go short, down to 3rd or 2nd. Just nice and smooth through this section here. Let it drift out, hit the wall, nice and smooth. Let it come out wide. Cut it in, let it come out, and then come back into the cutting. Beautiful shot there. And James Spotto just behind as well. Look at that time. Got a battle down here with Stoddard and Licciardi. We'll go to that on screen. So that's Craig Stoddard. He's been away for a bit and he's back tonight. We're glad he is for BS Motorsport Mustang. Holding down P40. Oh, just going wide there, allowing Ross Licciardi up the inside. That's Licciardi in the pen right, and Baker trying to hold with these guys. Oh, over the curb, out to the gutter, just smacking the wall. Oh no, that's not the great. We're across Skyline. Oh, Stoddard starting to struggle on those tyres. We're 12 laps in. Watch him come down. Will he make a mistake? Lock it up into the dipper. He's controlling that. Already down in 1st gear. He's got to launch it out of here. Gets a bit of space on Licciardi. Oh, see the back just wagging as he's trying to control it. Maybe his tyres are starting to go off. You can see the marks there. Licciardi up the inside now. He's going to tuck in, then he's going to pull out. Come out the side. Trying to tuck in, get that side draft. It's a drag race down. He's got the inside line for the chase. Who's going to get it? Oh, he's backed off a bit early. Paul Robinson really, Craig Stoddard really struggling with those tyres. Will he come into the pits already, or will he try and hold out for another 3 laps? And we've got Matt Collins in the pits already. So he's the first one to come in. Maybe he's trying to undercut the rest of the field. So Opposano at the top of the hill now. Craig Broadbent moving up into P3. That's pretty early for a pit stop. That looks like going to be a 3 pit stop for Matt Collins. Just to let you guys know at home, it's a compulsory 2 pit stop with 4 tyres each stop. Watching Opposano now coming into the chase in the Channel 9 livery. Guys starting to spread out now, but watch this. This is Broadbent defending Kidas and Flack now. That gap closing in. And that's almost a 4-way battle for P3 now, as Collins is back out in P13. So it's Broadbent out in front, Kidas behind him in P4, then Flack and Robinson. Chalui into the pits now on lap 13. That's early for him as well. Not too sure if that's tyres or fuel forcing him in early. Kidas just running wide there. Is Flack going to take any advantage on there? Right up the tailpipe of Kidas. That's how close they are, coming across the top. Oh. Every time we're on there, it looks like Kidas is just losing it across the top. It could be that Kidas is losing his rears at the moment. Track temp is quite high, 45 degrees we saw before, and that is 45 Celsius as well. So very hot to the touch, crack an egg on that one. So it's Broadbent going through, Kidas, Black and Robinson. These guys have been matching times all race long so far. And that is why they are out on track in P3, 4 and 5 and 6. Broadbent just stretching a little bit from Kidas at the moment. Or Kidas is falling back because now Flack's on the back of him. Just gingerly coming out. My guess is Kidas is going to come in, but it's too early. Can't afford to. He's got to stretch that out at least one more lap, two more, if he wants more fuel and tyres towards the end. Here they come into Hell Corner. We just saw Oppo go through. Broadbent, Kidas and Robinson. So Oppo falling back. 11 seconds on the lead. Wayne Walker, too good. His last lap was a 2:06.6 ahead of Oppo in a 2:08.5. So Oppo is dropping off. He's lost 8 tenths off that last lap alone, and we can see him falling back here. But I think for Oppo, he'll be diving into the pits before these guys catch him. And that's the ideal thing. So I've got Craig Stoddard in P15 and Collins DNFing. He looks like he's pulled out. So after that pit stop, he's fallen back too much. He won't be able to gain that back. So that'll give Oppo some breathing room. I know Matt Collins starts work early, so he probably needs to quit and go to bed because he's pretty busy at the moment for MJ build. So it looks like Braden Pritchard in the pits as well now. And that is Baker coming in too. So he's coming in. This is where it looks like it's going. This is not going to make it to a 2-lap stop if they pit on these laps numbers. So Baker running out of pits now. That's his pit stop. No one really getting a penalty, so they're all pitting really well, really cleanly and clinically. But who's going to be the one to blink first out of this lot? Oh, that's Kidas going in. So too Robinson. And that's Robinson going in. Oh, they've got to shut it down. That's Paul Robinson just closing in on pit entry. Looks like Kidas broke a bit early for their pit entry. 40 kilometers an hour, very slow through here, but at least we know that all of them have got to do the same minimum 2 stop. So that's Robinson going in just ahead of Kidas going on their qualify session. We see them in the distance, Kidas and Robinson. We'll see where the field's coming around. We'll see, that looks like Czeslowski, or it can't be Flack. No, that's Chandra. So we've got Oppo in P2, and that's Broadbent closing in too, under the 3 seconds, and he's bringing Flacky with him as well. Logan is further back as all the guys are starting to pit now. We saw Robinson in the pits, so Kidas coming out of the pits. So where's Robinson? He's only just probably taking on more fuel as he exits pit lane. And rejoining, taking P11, we saw Licciardi in front. And Justin Bryce just saying thank you for letting him go through. And that's Justin Bryce just ahead, going through the cutting now. Oh, just getting sideways coming out of the Griffin's Bend. We are a quarter of the race through already, and the closest gap here is... Oh, okay, so Broadbent's coming in pit lane. Flacky's staying out. Oppo's coming in as well. Beautiful livery. Just seeing if we can see Broadbent there. So Oppo coming in, Broadbent should be pulling in behind him, a couple of spots back. If they hit their marks, they should get good stops here. That's tyres done. Now we're up to the fuel. No one's really coming down the start-finish line. Flack out in front. He's gone the long route because we see Walker has pitted now and Flack is out in the lead. That's James Spotto coming around the corner, I think. So it looks like Flack is out in the lead, P1 at the moment. He's definitely looking after these tyres nicely. He wants to stretch that out. We did say lap 15 to 18 or 17 was my predicted pit window, and that's been pretty accurate so far. How much more is Flacky going to stay out there? He's going to lose valuable time the more he stays out there, but towards the end of the race he's really investing, so he's got fresher tyres towards the end of the race here. Scott Flack in the lead from Superflow Racing, the number 46. There's Craig Stoddart just in front in P14. Alright, so the order's been mixed up around, and here comes Flacky. He's finally in now. Oh, he spun it. He spun it. That's the only incident we've seen all day, and he's done it on pit entry. I don't think he had the grip to really pull it up, and those little ripple strips definitely upset the car on pit entry, so he really got to take it easy. A little mistake cost him that whole advantage. So that's Flack coming in. Now, where is Walker? Walker is coming down into Murray's corner. So that means Flacky's missed his spot too, so that's going to cost him an extra couple of seconds. And if we pan left, we should see Wayne Walker take back the lead. There he goes. So Wayne Walker back out in front. Flacky in the pits. Who's next? That is Oppo coming round. So where's Flack? And is Flack due to come out soon? That's Spotter. Here comes Craig Broadbent. That's his competition. So he's come out just ahead. Well, by the time he exits pit lane, Broadbent will be going through, and there he goes. So Flacky's got one lap fresher tyre. It looks like Braden Pritchard, also an early starter, has had to retire from the race with Collins and Thomas Foster. Craig Broadbent still in P4. That makes Kiddas moving up a couple of spots through that pit window. He came in early, got it, smashed out some quick laps. His last lap was a 2:06.8. Broadbent with that pit stop was a 3:08.2. Justin Bryce doing 205s back there. Last lap alone. Oh, that's, I think, that could be Kyle. Yes, that's Kyle Rankmore doing a good job to stay out of the way of Craig Broadbent. And Justin Bryce coming round as well. Wayne Walker's last lap with fresh tyres and maybe a belly of fuel. A 204 flat. Maybe his middle stint he's going to smash out some quick laps on a lighter belly of fuel. Therefore advancing his lead and advantage over 17 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. But it's Paul Robinson, Scott Flack. This is where the race is at. On board now with Paul Robinson, looking back at Scott Flack. Down the start-finish line, they pretty much pitted one lap apart, but Scott Flack, just with that little mistake, cost him a lot on pit entry. And now we can see how that relates now that we're on track. And Scott Flack trying to tuck in, get around, go up the inside. Paul Robinson's doing nothing to protect that line. And Flack going through now. Paul just playing the steady game, lapping out the 205s. His average lap times have been on point as well. Probably the lower 205s. So very hard for anyone to catch him at the moment. As he comes across Silman Park under the SimHaus banner over to the grate. There it is on the left-hand side. Oh, Reed, now McPhillamy. And we've got a lap car in the middle. Oh, it's just going to touch. I have to back off. But Paul's getting around. Kyle's doing everything he can to give way. It's not the best position to try and give way to faster cars. But he's done a great job doing it. As Paul Robinson moves up, currently in P7. Chalui back in P8. He's been pretty solid. Oh, sounded like either Scott Flack or Kyle just scraped the wall there at Forest Elbow. Eric Chandra up into P9. Started from almost the rear of the field. Up into the top 10. Well done from him. Hopefully he can improve on that throughout the race. Keep an eye at that in the bright red Super Cheap Auto entry. Chandra coming into the chase now, deep under brakes. That front splitter scraping that bitumen. And as he's on the accelerator, it lifts up, lets the air under. Watch it dip down under heavy braking. There it goes. Nice and smooth. Very quick through that corner, Murray corner, crossing the start-finish line. That lap just then was a 2:05.9. Very impressive. It's got James Spotto, and that is Rob Logan. So this is for position as well, to be in the top 10 and stay there. So through the pit stops, looks like Rob's lost a spot through that. Eric Chandra, the biggest gain through that whole first run of pit stops. See if we can bring up the positions gained from the start of the race. No, we didn't set it, so gap to next. Let's see what tyres the guys are using so far. We've got a few compounds. SS is super soft. Chilui on the softs. And they are the tyres out here today. No one on the hards trying to go the long run, because it probably means the fuel load will not last the same amount of laps as the tyres. So they're probably going the softer option. And that's probably the best idea, because it's going to give them more grip throughout the race. The hards are definitely difficult to control, especially in the Gen 3 cars. As we see Bryce and Flacky now. Looks like Flack just got past. Looks like Flack just got past Bryce, and this is how he got it done. We're in the replay. Scott Flack for position. Was in P6. Goes up the inside. Bryce trying to protect that inside line. Did he get it done? He went right round the outside almost. And nice and smooth there from Scott Flack. Bryce letting him go in the end. As they rejoin, Bryce holding on to the back of Scott Flack. And Paul Robinson is still in that picture there. He is the gunmetal grey livery of Paul Robinson Racing. Just watch the guys come up through the karting. That's Scott Flack, Justin Bryce, Paul Robinson. Locking up a little bit, coming down towards the dipper here. Short sprint into Forest Elbow. Kiddas moved back up into P3, gaining a couple of spots from the start there. Through that run of pit stops. He did pit early. He was one of the first ones to blink and come in, and we saw how quickly he got out of the pit box ahead of Paul Robinson, gaining a ton of position. And that is why he's currently in P3 ahead of Craig Broadbent, who's just coming round Murray's corner at the moment. We saw in the background that was Scott Flack and Justin Bryce. Here it comes in the hill corner. That is Craig Broadbent. Here comes Scott Flack, Justin Bryce, and Paul Robinson. So Justin Bryce coming joining this little party that's been going on since this green flag. Licciardi and Stoddard back in P12 and 13 are still relatively close to each other. There he is. And that's one. Oh, Stoddard just smacking the wall there. He's probably looking back to see the leader coming past, and it makes the guys nervous because they want to know where they can give the position. They don't want to be given the blue flag for too long. And that is the leader, Wayne Walker. Wayne Walker down the main straight there. Coming into the chase. Like a seasoned pro. Last lap was a 2:04.991. What's he going to do this lap? 2:06.376. That is Licciardi just in front. Just giving way to the leader, Wayne Walker. Licciardi doing a fantastic job. This is his first race back this year. We haven't seen him for a couple of years, so he has had a bit of a hiatus. But he has been practicing during the week, so congratulations to him. He's doing a fantastic job out in front as he's got the leader just in front. Give him an idea of where he needs to change gear, turn in, and learn some of the driving lines, if he hasn't learnt it already. So looking down the timing screen, seeing who's close to each other to see who's battling. It looks like Bryce and Robinson is your closest one, and there's a gap there. We'll go for a lap around with Justin Bryce as he struggles around Griffin Bend. up towards the cutting, staying out wide, oh, flicking it in. Very risky there, second gear, skating all the way along. You see how much wheel work he's got to do just to keep it on track. Oh, he's got a lot of bite at the front as well, so it's working well for him. Across the top for the great cross Reed Park now into McPhillamy. And across Brocky Skyline, down the dipper. This is what it looks like from the cockpit. Very steep descent. What are we doing? 130 down the hill into the dipper at 90 k's an hour. In a Forest Elbow, just 160 kilometers. Thank you very much. Trying to break it down. Oh, front end just digging in. You can see Paul Robinson in the rear vision mirror as he goes through. We're on board now with Paul Robinson chasing Justin Bryce just in front. This is for position 6. Closing in hard. Robinson really attacking now. The back of Justin Bryce. Bryce pitting early. Robinson strong under brakes. Bryce getting a bit loose. Using that to make the car turn and rotate. Not doing a bad job, but is it burning up the tyres in front? And will he survive till the next pit stop ahead of Paul Robinson? Paul Robinson nice and smooth through there. You can see Paul just hitting the lines right as they head up the hill. On board now with Justin Bryce, looking back at Paul Robinson coming up through the cutting towards Griffin's Bend. There's not much Paul can do through this section. He's just got to really wait for Justin to make a mistake, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's taking the nice thinner lines. He's not pushing that car much at all. He's not really finding the track limits. He's staying well within it. He's missing all the walls and the curbs, trying to keep that car stable. This is the scariest part now. Down Skyline, look at Paul just cutting through there, gaining on the back of Justin Bryce here. Through the dipper, that was down in the Forest Elbow. See if Paul's stronger through this section, under tyres. Oh, Bryce just taking it nice and easy, letting it roll out. See Scott Black just up the road as well, not too far ahead. And he's chasing down Craig Broadbent. So I'll go through the field while we've got a bit of time before the next projected pit stop, which should be around the 30-35 mark. And then it'll be a short sprint to the end. Then it's Daniel Opasano in P2 coming up through the cutting there. The Kevin Bartlett retro livery. Then Alex Kiddas in P3 for Wayne's World Motorsport. Just behind Craig Stoddard at the moment, who's slipping and sliding everywhere, getting on the gas a bit too hard there. Just getting it loose, which is very easy to do coming out of the cutting. These guys don't have much traction control, and the inputs are raw as can be. No assists, no ABS, no traction control, just raw accelerator racecraft. Craig Broadbent in P4 for the Snowy River Caravans entry. Current SimHaus V8 League defending champion, winner of the 2023 season. He's got Scott Flack for company in P4. This is Scott Flack in the red coming towards. These guys have been enjoying great battles throughout the year, and Bathurst never fails to deliver. Right, we've got a couple of battles going on, so let's go to those. So it's Bryce defending off Robinson. And then further back, it's Eric Chandra and Rob Logan. Let's watch this into the cutting, into the chase. Going through now. Baker DNFing as well now. Alright, so Robinson just sitting there. Can Paul get up there? Oh, up the inside goes Robinson. And that's the move made live on air. That was a great move from Paul Robinson. But Bryce is back up the inside, trying to get the side drive, going right round the outside of Paul Robinson, where he got the position done before. Will this be a swap in position? Robinson throwing it up the inside. But can he control it up Griffin's Bend? Yes, he can. Charging up the hill now towards the cutting. Nice and smooth on the inside. Justin Bryce. Backing it off, bringing the front end in, getting back on the gas. Letting the car rotate through Stillman Park. Across Reed, over the grate. Backing it off, back on the gas on the inside. Just had to back off there to make sure he didn't hit the wall there. And that's Paul Robinson starting to pull away. And this is the battle for P6, but up ahead. We've got Scott Flack charging down Craig Broadbent at the moment. Oh, down the gears, almost in the first gear there. Just let it roll through. Look after those tyres, Scott. You've got to make them last at least after lap 30. Oh, he's down the gears quickly there. He's got Craig Stoddart just in front, but he's going to pull over. Let him go. Thank you very much, Craig, they're saying. Just gingerly through Hell Corner. It's the closest battle on track at the moment. Craig Broadbent, Scott Flack. Battle for P4 at the moment. Then we've got Robinson and Bryce. Another two-car battle for the positions just behind these guys. Beautiful pictures coming to you from Bathurst Mount Panorama. 3.5 hours drive from the city centre of Sydney in New South Wales. Oh, Blackie just clipping that front end. Just watching Scott Black coming out of the cutting here. We'll see him hit the wall. Will this give him suspension damage and unable to chase Craig Broadbent? Watch him on the exit here. Just clips the front, almost lost it. Had to back out of it to get it back under control. Amazing that he did get it done. And he's back on the back of Craig Broadbent as we go back live on lap 26 of 45. Over halfway now. Thank you for joining us. We've got Rob Logan in the pits. And he's coming out of the pits now. Barely losing a position. Fraction too early on lap 27 for that pit stop. He's going to have to stretch his last pit stop an extra 2 laps. And that is Kyle Rankmore into the pits as well. As we see Broad. Kiedis out by himself in P3 now. 9 seconds behind Obatasano in P2, who's at the top of the hill. That's not too much in it if Oppo makes one little mistake. And there's Oppo and Licciardi together on track. If Oppo makes a little mistake, Kiedis is just behind there to pick up the pieces and gain another position and slot in behind his teammate Wayne Walker to make it a 1-2. But Oppo, very professional, keeping position now ahead of Alex Kiedis. Wayne Walker, too strong, 22 seconds out in front of the rest of the field. Lapping in the 205s. His nearest rival behind him, lapping in the 206s. Wayne Walker been very dominant all year long. Only lost one round. It's Wayne Walker crossing the line for lap 28. Ahead of Obatasano now coming through the chase. And that is the gap between P1 and 2. That's what 22 seconds looks like as we come under Dunlop Bridge down into Murray's Corner. Right behind him, that looks like that's his cousin Ross Licciardi, doing a fantastic job at the moment, currently in P12. Last lap just made a little mistake, and it was a 2:11. This lap's a 2:09 from Ross Licciardi. Not too bad in the Penrite inch here. Up Mountain Straight, that's the difference of the draft and the pull. Through he goes, round the outside. Chalui just touching, comes loose. Chandra too solid. It's side by side. Oh, Chandra on the outside. They're crossing over side by side up through the cutting. Not the best way, but if they can make it happen, it's spectacular to watch. Chandra just rolling away now. Chalui's going to settle back in, get his rhythm back and chase the back of that red Super Cheap Auto car of Eric Chandra from H Engineering. All right, James Spotto in the top 10 in the Red Bull Camaro. Looks like Rankmore has retired as well, Kyle Rankmore. It is a long race for these guys, mentally draining. Oh, we see yellow in Sector 2. That's just after the dipper. Trying to see who that is. Oh, this is going to be awkward. I can't see who's stuck there. Oh, it's Chandra. So we'll see if we can go to replay. It was Chandra. So was Chandra just getting loose, coming into the dipper. Chalui coming through, just touching him. Oh, they touch. Chalui manages to keep going. And it meant... Oh, very awkward for Chandra now. Oh, managed to avoid incident. I have to say, the guys have been pretty good as Chalui comes in the pits now for his second stop. That's about the mark you want to be pitting on. So he's done well in that middle stint to stretch that second stint quite long. So we should have enough to get him to the end of the race. So this is where all the pits are coming in now. Will we see Wayne Walker, who's crossed the start-finish line for lap 30? Then it's Obatasano. He's not pitting. He's going to stay out again. And that leaves Kiedis in P3 at the moment. Very long circuit. You can easily get lost around here. The guys can't see each other, but they just know that they're just around the corner in front. as Kiddis is coming around the start-finish line in P3. Next will be Craig Broadbent, and that's... Okay, so here it goes, Scott Flack. He manages to hold it firm. And that is Scott Flack coming into the pits. And that is Paul Robinson coming out of Murray Corner. You see him just coming past there. So Scott Flack coming in for the undercut. Let's watch how that goes towards the end of the race. My guess is that's going to be a pretty good strategy, because Flack is very good in controlling those tyres, but will he control the fuel as well? Justin Bryce also rolling in the pit lane. Right, so both of them coming in for tyres and fuel. How much fuel do they have to load in to get them to the end of the race? We've got 15 laps to go. So these guys are in 6th and 7th, and that's James Spotto right behind him as well. So, but here comes Eric Chandler coming around. He's going to collect a couple of positions. He might go, oh look, these guys are pitting, I might come in with them and come in the next lap. He's got to make the jump on Chalui, who's already been in the pits, and he will be right to the end. So Spotto in pit lane now. And that's Rob Logan, who pitted before. This is where he's going to start picking up the positions. Rob, he's already been in the pits, but has he come in too early? Does he need to fuel save and tyre save? He could be coasting down Conrod just to save on fuel. He's going to use all of it going up the hill at full speed. No real opportunity to fuel save at the top of the hill. If you've ever tried to climb this yourself, done a track walk, you'll really appreciate how steep this is. It is no mean feat. At the end of each night, you get to track walk this beautiful circuit. Really appreciate. And that's Kiddis and Broadbent. Here we go. Paul Robinson's doing what the others will do. Hopefully he'll get a better pit stop than Kiddis on this round. So Broadbent really close in now on Kiddis. That looks like Kozlowski in the shell car coming around now for his final pit stop. That is Troy Kozlowski coming through. And Broadbent taking the short run just ahead of Kiddis is trying to speed up the pit crew, and that's the gap coming out. Will we see Paul Robinson launch out of the pit lane? Looks like he's taking more fuel. That's Broadbent up the hill now. He's jumped Kiddis through that pit stop. Where is Flack? He's already pitted, and he's jumped Paul Robinson, but he's lost a bit of space to Broadbent and Kiddis, although I think he's gained a little bit. And Chandler into the pits as well from P8. And he might drop down to 9 very soon. Rob Logan chewing up those positions now. He knows that he's got to push hard. He's already gained 2 positions. He's holding with Wayne Walker at the moment. His last lap was a 2:04.8. So he's trying to chase the leader there, the purple hot Hog's Breath Cafe vehicle in front. Doing some impressive lap times at the moment, and he's gaining. The next driver in front of him will be Justin Bryce, who has pitted, and Oppo is in the lane as well. So he's rolling into pit lane. He hasn't finished and rolling out. He's actually coming in. So he's got to come in for tyres as well. Now so Boyce is dumping the fuel in for the end of the race. He's coming short, so there's only 13 laps to the end of the race, so he'll be flying towards the end. I don't know if he's going to be gaining on Walker, but he'll definitely be cementing his position in P2 at the moment. we saw in Sandown making some gains towards the end. Unfortunately, just coming together with Kidas towards the end in that race. So, Oppo rejoining, still in P2. 6 seconds ahead of Craig Broadbent, 5.5. And then Broadbent getting a massive jump on Kidas. That'll be very hard to pull back as Flack back up into P5. He's jumped. No, he's got to chase. He's jumped Robinson, which he already was. Now he's got to catch Kidas and Broadbent. So I'll see if anyone changed the compound of the tyres this time. It still looks like it's super softs all the way until Andrew Chalui, that's his favourite, the softs, and Licciardi is elected to go the softs as well in PE 10 and 11. Alright, so Wayne Walker out in front. Let's give him some credit. It's been an amazing drive, an amazing season from Wayne Walker as well. There's no catching this guy. Too solid out front. Rob Logan still chasing the back. That's Jaslowski just letting the leaders through. Watch out as the timing screens. We've got Craig Broadbent on a fly. He's got 2 purple sectors. If we show you the sectors there. Now that means the fastest sectors of the race so far, and that means faster than Wayne Walker out in the lead, whose fastest lap before this was a 2:03.976. Then it was Scott Flack just posted one, not too sure if you saw the notification, but he's just posted a 2:03.818. What can Craig Broadbent do? Coming around the final corner, Murray's Corner, can he take the fastest lap of the race so far on lap 33? Yes, he has. Broadbent 2:03 flat, almost half a second faster than previous laps. 0.8 ahead of Scott Flack. So he's absolutely flying. Watch him trying to catch Oppo in front. 4.5 seconds the gap so far. Watch that come down or extend as we get to the end of the race. Oppo's very much stronger in the final closing moments of any race. And that's him in front. So that's Oppo going through the cutting now, and Craig Broadbent coming up through the cutting as well. There he is. So Oppo going up through Sulman Park. He's got to watch his windscreen, his rear mirrors. Oh, Oppo just keeping it off the wall there across the top. If you're watching this and going to the real Bathurst race this weekend, make sure you come up the top of the mountain, say good day. I'll be running a simulation trailer up the top near the merchandise. And I'll be up there from tomorrow, from Thursday onwards. Oppo with a PB and the fastest second sector of the race so far. So he's looking in the rear vision mirror going, I think I better step on it now. Broadbent is catching. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 2:03 flat. What can I do? Can he get in the 2:02s just to get himself the fastest lap of the race so far? On lap 34, he's got the PB, which is a half second off, but he's half a second up on the fastest sector of the race. Crossing the start finish line at 2:03.5. So still half a second off Craig Broadbent's fastest lap so far. And there's Broadbent in the background. So what's the gap now? Broadbent is 5.4. So that's actually stretched out a little bit there as we get into the final stages of the race. Go through the order as we've got Craig Broadbent in P3 now. We're jumping Alex Kidas from that last set of pit stops. But that's not too far. That's a little mistake, a little slip from Broadbent, and Kidas will be right on the back there as he is 6 seconds back. Further back is Scott Flack, who pitted early and tried to undercut these guys, but he definitely gained some time, but not enough to make any position gains. And that's Paul Robinson behind him as well. Here he comes through, and that is Justin Bryce coming through. Rob Logan in P8, great job from him, solid to be in the top 10. Early final pit stop. Oh, I was just watching him hang it wide, going up Griffin's Bend. Rob Logan in P8. James Spotto in P9, having trouble getting into the server early on. That's why we had a delayed start. Do apologise. James Spotto in the Red Bull, as he's been all year long, in P9 in the 97. And then we've got Chalui still hanging on to the top 10. And that's him coming up behind. He's on the charge. Let's watch the lap times of Chalui. Oh, do you see Chalowski just getting loose at the back there? So Chalui on the charge. His last lap was a 2:07.4. James Spotto in front was a 2:06.8. So Spotto is quicker on that last lap, but it really looks like he's closing in. Depending on the shading of the sun, you can see there's a fine coat over the vehicle. So that's Spotto just in front. That gap is closing. So Chalui and Spotto down 2.5 seconds now. Chasing hard down the Conrod straight. Full speed, 5th gear. Will he get it into 6th gear? 270, 280k. Probably topping at 285. 291 maybe. Or 288 I saw. Down to 120 through the chase. Back out now, up through the gears, 3rd gear already, 4th. Into Murray's corner, 4th, 5th. Down to 2nd gear. That's Spotto out in front. That's going to develop over the next couple of laps. That gap just under 3 seconds now. So, James Spotto in the Red Bull, his last lap was a 2:07.1. And Chalui was at 2:07.4. Chandra dropping out of the top 10. Got Wayne Walker for company. Chandra just in P11 at the moment. Wayne Walker dominating from the green flag all the way. Hasn't lost his spot. Got a great launch off the line ahead of Matt Collins, who covered Oppo, Daniel Oppadosano in P3 and delayed them coming through Hell Corner. So that gave Wayne some breathing space. But Collins come back at the early stages of the opening laps, but couldn't hold on after about 5-6 laps. Started to drop off and keep Oppo at bay as well. We'll go for a lap with Daniel Oppadosano. Through the dipper, 2nd gear. Oppo trying everything to get the fastest lap of the race. Oh, Wayne Walker down into the 202 flats. That's a full second faster than anyone else. I think you can see the checkered flag coming pretty soon, so he's going to leave it all on the track. We're on board with Daniel Opedasano now, coming out of the chase down under Dunlop Bridge towards Murray's Corner to complete his lap 37 of 45. Imagine the end of this race would only be quarter race distance of the full length race in time wise. Wayne Walker got Craig Stoddart in front. He's nervous. Hopefully he just holds his nerve, get through there. We saw him slip up in this section before. Wayne Walker's just like, hold it there, mate. That's a great spot. Well done to Craig Stoddart. That's Eric Chandra coming through Griffin's Bend now. Rob Logan coming down the mountain. He is in P11 at the moment. This is Troy Kozlowski. Looking for any close battles on track at the moment. The closest one would be the Flack, Robinson and Bryce in the middle of the pack, and that is 5th, 6th and 7th. Scott Flack leading these three, and I think that was Paul Robinson. I could hear right behind him. That was Paul Robinson. This is Justin Bryce coming through the chase now. Licciardi still holding firm in P12 ahead of Craig Stoddart and Troy Kozlowski. That's a battle of the fittest as we've had a few guys retire so far. If you want to join our community, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. And get that notification bell so you know exactly when we're going live to air next, which will be next Wednesday. We've had to move this race to a Tuesday night because I'll be heading up the mountain and working at the real Bathurst race from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So make sure if you're in the area, come and say good day up the top of the mountain near the merchandise tent, I've been told. That could change by the time I get up there tomorrow afternoon. Then in 2 weeks' time, we'll be going to the Gold Coast, which the boys will be very looking forward to that one. Very tight circuit. A lot of headache at that one because one little mistake, it's very hard to get the car back on track from there. So watching Scott Flack with Paul Robinson about 3 seconds behind. And there's Paul Robinson chasing down Scott Flack. That is for P4. Where's Justin Bryce? There he is. Oh, just locking up and sliding. But look at him up into P7. That wasn't his starting position, so very impressive. Alright, so Chandra Logan we see now. This is a battle. Here we go. Oh, Logan chasing Chandra now up the hill. What's he going to do? Oh, up the inside. Almost. He lost it himself, but Logan lost it following. Just got to get that rhythm back, Logan, and chase. Oh, Chandler just going wide there, giving the position to Rob Logan. You can see how easy it is to make one little mistake here. And back he goes. Logan up into P10. Chandler's still there, trying to chase him down. It's not over yet. Chandler trying to stay with Logan at the moment to keep in the top 10. But Logan too solid, too firm. I think he's on older tyres too, Rob Logan. So I don't know if that position's going to change towards the end, but doing a great job. We've only got 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the leader with 5 laps to go. The rest of the guys won't be able to fulfill their 45 laps, as Wayne Walker has lapped everyone up till P8, which is James Spotto, which we may see, if we watch James Spotto, we may see Wayne Walker in the background. Yep, there he is. That is Wayne Walker coming through now. See the gap here. James Spotto coming through near the field marshals, flag marshals, and that is Wayne Walker. Thank you for joining us. You've joined us for round 10 of the V8 League 2024, and we are of course at Mount Panorama in Bathurst. The one we've been looking forward to all year long, even though we've been here February this year. We're keen to get back for the big race. This is an Enduro today for these guys, 90-minute race, 45 lap. We're in the last 5 laps to go. James Spotto in P8 ahead of Chilui. Logan. And there's Chilui there. Where's the gap to Logan? Right behind him. There it is. And that's Chandra behind him as well. So that battle is closing up as well. I know Chilui pitted about 3-4 laps too early. Maybe he's struggling, so we'll come back to that one. Actually, that is the closest battle on track at the moment. Chilui defending against Logan. Oh, just getting it. Just dancing across the top at Silman Park. Over the crest to the grate at Reed Park. Across the top. Oh, Chilui's just got that position back. I don't know how he got that. Through the dipper they go. Oh, Logan's going wide. Chilui just hit the wall there. Coming. Oh. This is Chalui defending Rob Logan down Conrad Straight. Well, he's got the inside line, under braking. Who's going to win? Side by side, Chalui's just got to stay where he is. He can defend that easily. Logan's going to come right round the outside. Great job. There it goes through Rob Logan, and if he doesn't pay attention, he's got Eric Chandler right behind him as well for position. So that's Logan up into 9. Chandler's got to hold on to P10. It looks like he's got Eric Chandler for company in about 1 to 2 laps just before the end of the race. So there's your 3 cars for P9. Rob Logan out in P9, Andrew Chalui in P10, and Eric Chandra from Indonesia in P11. Thanks to the internet, we can invite and join up with other drivers around the world. And that bright red car back there is Eric Chandra from H&M Engineering, based in Indonesia. So we're glad that he races with us for the last 2 years from overseas, and welcome him and his teammates to join us for the remainder of the season. So across the top they go. We're on board with Eric Chandra chasing Andrew Chalui in front. The gap under 0.3. Oh, Chandra going wide through there. Just got to control it. Through the dipper, back on the accelerator, up the gears, heavy on the brakes now, back down the gears, down to second. Control that car, get the launch right for the exit. We see Chandra getting on the gas nice and early. I love this shot looking back. Chandra electing to go around the outside. Side by side through the kink. Oh, they've got to have balls of steel to get through there side by side. But Chandra getting the job done. Chalui trying to come back at him. Just manages to pull it up for Murray's corner. Oh, Spotto pulling out from P8, and he's dropped down. Unfortunately, that could be disconnection issues. So now it's only a 2-car battle as Rob Logan is stretched out 5 seconds up the road. He is. Unfortunately, Spotto's fallen off. That could be a network issue. We're not too sure. I know he would have wanted to stay to the end, so it could be family commitments or some act of God. I don't see much on my screen, so it looks like it's just a voluntary DNF. So Wayne Walker, we're almost to the end of the race, coming down Skyline. Got the headlights on, he'll be grinning ear to ear. He's got a 30-second gap ahead of everyone else, and his best lap's at 2:02 flats. Very impressive outing indeed for Wayne Walker and Wayne's World Mustang. This will strengthen his lead in the championship. I don't think he's going to be touched from here on in. We've only got 2 more races after this one. It'll be the Gold Coast 2 weeks after, and then Adelaide. And that'll be the 12th round and final round of the season. So then we may start a British Touring Car season or another quick fire season through the summer break. So it's Wayne Walker out in front with 2 laps to go. And this is Opedasano in P2. Oh, we just saw an accident there, so we'll see what happened there. Coming over the top now, down. Oh, just gets hooked up on that ripple. And that's just enough to smack into the wall. And that allows Justin Bryce to go through as well. Oh, and he's just clipped that tyre wall on exit. He's not having the best day through there. So that was Oppo in P2. Now we go to Craig Broadbent. After that final pit stop, really making that work for him. He got out about 5-6 seconds ahead of Kidas in P3, and he's held that all the way along. With only 2 laps to go, there's not much Kidas can do, and there he is in the background. Scott Flack tried to come in early, and he's still got Paul Robinson for company. Looks like Paul Robinson's a fraction closer, only 1.7 seconds behind. Depending on Flacky, he did come in a lap earlier on this stint. No. But he's got to defend off Paul Robinson, who's very quick towards the end. And we've only got 2 laps to go, so Paul needs to pull out all stops and chase down Scott Flack if he wants to get that P5 ahead of Scotty, because it is double points round in the Enduro series. And then we've got Justin Bryce in P7, who's coming across the top as well, so he's not that far behind really. And then Rob Logan in P8. Eric Chancho in 9, there he is. He could be in a position to chase down Rob Logan pretty soon. But again, he needs more than a couple laps to go. And that's Chilui behind him, so we'll go to Ross Licciardi, who's moved up into P11. And Craig Stoddart, who we just saw, unfortunately, at this very spot. Oh, he's almost... Oh, looked like Groundhog Day. Unfortunate for Craig, just hitting that wrong spot. And then Troy Jaslowski in P13. James Spotto has rejoined, so he is out on track. So it could have been a dropout issue with his game. The rFactor 2 software that we are using here today. Bring you these pictures. Oh, Spotto tried to give way, but almost went right in front of Oppadasano. And if it was to flip it at Silman Park, it would have been history repeating itself in the very same livery. So Wayne Walker bringing us into the final lap of the race, 45 from 45. Solid performance from Wayne Walker from Wayne's World Motorsport. Through the chase, 2 more corners to go, coming out under Dunlop Bridge into Murray's Corner. This will be the final corner for Wayne Walker. And there it is. Congratulations. That is the finish for Wayne Walker. Troy Jaslowski in the background, happy with that one as well. Congratulations to Wayne Walker. Crossing the start-finish line. Victory lap for him. Line locking all the way up Mountain Straight. Then we've got Daniel Oppadasano coming through Murray's Corner now. Crossing the start-finish line. He'll be happy with that. And then Craig Broadbent coming round. Not too far behind Broadbent, to be honest. And then 5 seconds or 9 seconds from Broadbent. Crossing in P4 is Alex Kidas. And then we've got Scott Flack further down. And Paul Robinson. So that's a gap for the finish all the way to the end. Paul pushing Scott across the start-finish line. That'll be P5 and 6 crossing the line now. As we've got the leaders just line locking, doing donuts. And Justin Bryce coming through. taking a very solid P7. Congratulations to him. Rob Logan already finishing. So I've got some celebratory burnouts here. All the way up Mount Straight. Look at the trail he's leaving. That's the leader. Thought he left all the rubber out on track, but no, he's just going to waste a bit more of it. Congratulations to Wayne Walker, taking out this year's Bathurst race for 2024, solidifying his lead in the championship. There's pretty much unstoppable with 2 rounds to go. And that was a very impressive effort from Wayne Walker to take the lead from green to checkered. And he'll bring it round, waving to everybody on the way around. So the official results for round 10 of the Bathurst race 2024. Is Wayne Walker from Wayne's World Motorsport ahead of Daniel Opedisano in P2. Craig Broadbent finishing P3 ahead of Alex Kidder. Scott Flack just ahead of Paul Robinson there. They're very close towards the end there. Justin Bryce doing a solid effort finishing in P7. Then it was Rob Logan, also another solid effort to finish in P8. Eric Chandra moving through the field there. And finishing an impressive P9 ahead of Chalui, who'll be happy with a top 10 finish. P11 was Ross Licciardi, cousin of Daniel Opedisano in Melbourne, finishing in P11, and Craig Stoddard finishing P12. Troy Jaslowski from Queensland finishing in P13, just ahead of James Spotto, who must have had some connection issues, rejoining later on to finish in P14. Then we had the retirees, Kyle Rankmore from Brisbane, David Baker from New South Wales, Braden Pritchard, New South Wales, Matt Collins from New South Wales, and Thomas Foster rejoining us from Queensland. So if you're watching our streams, you'll know that we always let you know when the next race is on. So let's see when the next race is on. And it'll be the 23rd of October on the Gold Coast. Okay, so it's just the 2 rounds to go. It'll be the Gold Coast on the 23rd of October, and then it'll be Adelaide on the 13th of November. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. And if you are watching our leagues, our broadcast, we also run a NASCAR league, and the next race will be at Watkins Glen. And that'll be on the 16th of October. And that's next Wednesday, so make sure you tune in for that one. So I hope you guys enjoy the coverage. That is Bathurst for 2024. Can't wait to come back here next year, so make sure you're on track and join us for the main race. Until then, it's good night from me, and we'll see you at the next round. Good night.